Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the volume of a sphere. So the volume of a sphere can be found by doing 4 over 3 pi r cubed, where r is the radius of the sphere, so the distance between the center of the sphere to the edge of the sphere, and pi is an irrational number that is approximately equal to 3.14. So here's our first example. Find the volume of the sphere. So in this case, we know that volume of a sphere is equal to 4 over 3 pi r cubed. And in this case, r, the radius, is equal to 3 because the distance from the center of the sphere to the edge of the sphere is 3. So volume is equal to 4 over 3 pi times 3 cubed. Now, one thing we could do here is we could just multiply 3 cubed by 4 and then divide by 3, or we could notice that 3 is the same as 3 to the power 1, so we could cancel this out with one of the 3's here in the 3 cubed and make it 3 squared. Now, 3 squared is 9, and 9 times 4 is 36, so therefore the answer is going to be 36 pi cubic centimeters. Okay. Now, what if they ask you for an approximate answer? Well, there's two ways to give an approximate answer here where we round. The first way is to sub in 3.14 for pi, so we could type in 36 times 3.14. And if we do that, we will get that the approximate volume is 113.04 cubic centimeters. And then let's say that we do 36 times the pi button, because that's the other way. The other way is to do 36 and then multiply that by the pi button and hit equals, and we'll get 113.097 and then some other stuff if we choose to do that. Neither way is right or wrong, but do keep in mind that either way it is an approximate answer. It really just depends on what your school prefers. If your school prefers you to multiply by 3.14 instead of pi, or to use the pi button and round to the nearest decimal place or 2 or 3, whichever way your school prefers is good. Or they may prefer the exact answer. If they ask for an exact answer, you would just write 36 pi cubic centimeters and then you're good to go. Because as soon as we round, we're giving an approximate answer essentially, because that's what rounding is. Rounding is going to the nearest tenth or hundredth or thousandth or whatever the value is, rather than giving an exact number. So in this next one here, they've given us the volume, that the volume is 4,500 pi cubic inches, and they would like to know the radius. They would like to know the distance from the center of this basketball, of this sphere, to the edge of it. So in this case, we can write the same equation as before, that volume is equal to 4 over 3 pi r cubed. Now, in this case, we know that volume is 4,500 pi. So I'm going to write that in. I'm also going to notice that on both sides there's pi, so I'm just going to cancel pi out completely. I'm also going to multiply both sides by 3 over 4. The reason I'm choosing 3 over 4 of all numbers is because in order to get rid of a fraction that's multiplied to our variable, we want to take the reciprocal. And the reciprocal means we take what the number is, 4 over 3, and we switch the numerator and denominator. So reciprocal of 4 over 3 is 3 over 4, or 3/4. Then what's going to happen is these 4's cancel and these 3's cancel, and we end up with r cubed is equal to 4,500 times 3 over 4. Now, what is 4,500 times 3 over 4? Well, I'm going to type that into a calculator. 4,500 times you can either type in times 0.75 or times 3 over 4. And either way, we get 3,375. So we know that the cube of r, the radius, is 3,375. Now I'm going to take the cube root of 3,375 because I'm going to cube root both sides. And then we get r is equal to the cube root of 3,375, which is 15. And once again, feel free to use a calculator to find the cube root. And so the answer is that the radius is 15 inches. As always, if you do have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comment section, and we'll see you for the next one.